Hi! On the Woodpecker today, I'm going to show you how I made this assembly to lengthen the side of my drawers. I know, this isn't the first time I've done something like this. Most of my drawers in the shop are made like this, and it's been a while since I did this. Back in the days, I made these jigs. It worked on the router table with a pattern bit. It worked great, as you can see here. I also have an attachment on my dovetail jig to make this same type of joint. However, this time is the router that moves instead of the piece of wood. Here's an example of an assembly with this jig. The assembly is much better than with my plywood jig. But these two assemblies have a big flaw. They are only locked in two directions, and the two pieces can slide from one side to the other. This is a big problem that I no longer have with my solution, as you can see here. But before you can do that, you need a pattern. For my part, I did it with Aspire. In fact, it's very simple. You just need to have a pattern that is perfectly the same between the top and the bottom, and from left to right to be able to make a tool path that follows this path. Here I made my first mistake, because I can't figure out where I have to cut. I make the cut directly in the center of the line. To do a complete test, I have to cut two boards. In the center, it doesn't work, as you can see here. I changed the yellow one's offset, but this time it's too much. So much so that I'm no longer able to take these two pieces apart. Finally, I managed to do it, but it's only a coincidence. But I managed to find how to do it, and it's quite easy. It's half the diameter of the conical bit that I use in the center of the board. Here it's 1.75 millimeters. Now, all I have to do is to enter this offset in the program. Here you can clearly see that the router bit will cut more, but because of its conical shape, everything will be aligned in the end. I kept a sample with all the values to remind me. Now it's time to cut the real boards for the sides of my drawers. To achieve a result that satisfies me, I had to do a lot of tests. Now all my pieces are cut. All that's left to do is to glue them together. The beauty of this assembly is that it's not necessary to add clamps because it locks in all directions by itself. This way, the joint is super tight and there's almost no gap, unlike the other two examples I showed you before. I only have to glue all the pieces together and let them dry. Next, I cut the unnecessary ends and surface the glue-ups to their correct thickness. And that's how I was able to use all the wood I had left to make the drawers for my dresser. Thank you, and see you soon in the next episode of The Woodpecker.